Meeting is now called to order. Roll call, Ms.
Randolph. Okay, right now it is 6:50 on Monday, March 16th, 6:50 p.m.
Roll call,
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
present.
Councilwoman Saritha Brown,
Present.
Councilwoman Trina Carter.
Present.
We have 3 who are present. We do have a quorum.
We're going to let the prayer carry over from our last meeting. I would like acceptance of the Recreation Committee minutes from October the 6th, as well as November the 3rd, 2025, with any corrections.
Motion. Second. You guys said what
It
I
was
second.
motion-
So, Mr. Brown, could you please give us an update on the concession stand?
Yes, gladly. So, we are currently making great progress on the concession stand project. Met with MSP, who are, I think it's an engineering firm, and John P. Tomlin and Sons. We have a bi-weekly meeting, and let me pull these notes up right quick. So, I believe most of the masonry has been completed. The foundation is laid. They're putting the walls up. Still up there doing some work. I want to also make acknowledgement that a lot of this stuff is weather dependent. There's been a lot of rain, there's been a lot of snow, and the tentative completion date was late April, early May. They're currently working on another work schedule, and once we receive that, we will share that with the Recreation Committee and with council within my reporting. But if you go up to the Memorial Field, you'll be able to see the progress that's been made thus far, and it's, in my opinion, I think it's looking pretty good. Kind of getting some weird weather here recently, where it was 70 degrees yesterday and
It's
30
freezing
degrees today. So a lot of this stuff is weather dependent, but we're going to have a new concession stand, and once we have that kind of firm completion dates, we will be able to then schedule ribbon cutting for the concession stand.
Okay, sounds good. So have the football teams, have they reached out to you yet?
At this point in time, I believe we have received a permit application for spring football, like flag football. I can't recall if I've received any materials in terms of permitting for the Lincoln Heights Tigers for the summer, but I do know that that's something that they use quite frequently. They came to, I think, the previous council meeting. No, not the previous. I think it was they were here recently. I think it was last month to kind of disclose what is needed, things that they've noticed, and I'm going to be working with our public works director to kind of get some things prepared for some activity up there at Memorial Field. But at this point in time, I can't say for certain that I've received that, but I'll double check to be for certain.
So will the baseball diamond or softball diamond, whatever it's called, will that be available this year?
I see no reason why it shouldn't be. I know that we have the materials to maintain the field, or the baseball diamond specifically. I haven't received any permit applications for baseball, but I do know that that is something that has come up in previous meetings. If there are, I'm not entirely certain. I've been to a few practices for the Lincoln Heights football team, Lincoln Heights football, Tigers football, I'm sorry. But I haven't been to any games, and I haven't seen or heard of anyone that was interested in the baseball diamond. But should there be permit applications for that purpose, we'll make sure that our facilities are prepared for that.
Okay.
Madam Chair. Do we have an update about the soccer? Have you got anything about soccer?
I have not received any permitting applications for soccer, no.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that Memorial Field? The playground equipment.
I was just about to.
What's going on with that?
The
Parkour.
The who?
The parkour.
the park course equipment. Yeah, so that is that has definitely been a topic of conversation in other meetings. So as I've been here for about 6 months, I've been going under the hood to kind of see what's been happening with grant monies that we've received. So we received some monies and acquired this park course equipment, and for whatever reason, we were not able to install that. I'm currently preparing permanent appropriations. I'm getting quotes to have that installed within Memorial Field. Haven't received those just quite yet, but that is something that we're looking to move on, so that way we can make the best use of that equipment.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. Did we ever find out about the repairs up on the football field that the men were here, the coaches were here, they brought to our attention the cracked plexiglass or what all those things that they were.
Yeah. So I had every couple of weeks we have the meeting with the concession stand, and myself and the director of public works, Mr. Chris Williams, will kind of like survey the field just to see what's happening there. That was brought to my attention at that council meeting specifically, and I requested that we have that removed. I haven't been back up there to check just quite yet, but that was something that was raised to their attention. And I know the lights are also a consideration, but we're going to make sure that we have the field prepared for spring and summer use, and that's something that we're actively working towards.
Thank you.
I have another quick question,
Go ahead.
Madam Chair. So last year, I know this, not really sure who was in charge of getting the porta potties, but they did not get them. I think they're supposed to be installed in May, and they did not get them last year. Do we have someone who is in charge of those? They didn't get the porta potties up on Memorial Field. They were supposed to get I think our contract starts in May, where they're supposed to have the porta potties. They did not get them. So I've heard from people that they weren't there, but I also heard from a resident who said people did what they had to do. So
I thought that there was a porta potty.
they came late. They were
they
supposed
came
to
in
be there
late,
in May. So do we need to follow up with Rumpke about that, or?
So after the renewal of the contract with Rumpke, before the renewal of the contract with Rumpke, I was kind of doing a deep dive into what services and products they were providing for us. And I believe it was either one or two portalets up at Memorial Field. I can't really speak to what it was happening in May 2025, but I do know that with the completion of the concession stand project, there will be two restrooms located on the premises with running water and electric. We can still have the portalets up there, and if I'm recalling correctly, they do have upgrade options for whenever we have big events, namely the 80th incorporation anniversary. And so all those things being considered, we will have the portalets available for the start of the spring and the summer months up at the field.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question to you?
Sure.
So why would we continue to incur that charge on the porta potties if we now have the bathrooms there? Because I think that the porta potties was there because there was no other facility. But wouldn't we want to now allocate that money to something else because we don't need to provide the porta potties? We would still need the Rumpke for the trash removal, but I don't think that we would need the porta potties if we are paying to get.
Yeah.
And we still have to light it. We still have to provide the water. Why would we still incur? Now, it's just a question. If we still need it, we still feel like we need it. But it's just, I guess, the mother in me. Why would we not try to save?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And with that in mind, we will have those restrooms in a concession stand. When we have larger events, I think it might be best to have more than two restrooms.
Well, probably we would, but wouldn't we be able to order them evently instead of just paying that constant cost
It's included in our contract.
Yeah.
in the contract? Okay. Well, you could have just said that in the beginning.
Yeah. My apologies, but yes, that is.
I just if it was an extra cost, like I said, the mother and me and said, hey, let's allocate that somewhere else. But if it's all in the contract, then it only makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to touch on the Memorial Day celebration, only because it's getting ready to come up. And I think it's like is it the last Sunday of the month in May? That's when it
Last
is.
Sunday in May.
Okay. So have Mr. Richard been down here to talk about it yet?
If Mr. Richard has been here, I have not met with him. I do know this is something that was a really big push from the previous council. Would love to meet with him very soon, but I haven't at this point in time.
So I don't know, Miss Lisa, would it be you to reach out to him to see if he wants to come and talk with us about the planning for the celebration?
I can do that.
Could you please?
Now, will I refer him to meet with Village Manager Brown?
Yeah, you could do
Okay.
that. And if I'm available on that day, I'll be happy to come as well. Anybody else that wants to come, you're welcome as well. This is yeah, so hopefully maybe we can talk to him and maybe we could ask him to come to our next meeting in April. And then that way nobody has to change their plans or anything.
Okay, Recreation Committee meeting.
So our 80th anniversary is coming up, and I know that y'all would like to have an ad hoc committee. So have we talked to anybody about this committee? Anybody know?
Chairwoman, I have reached out to our community, our residents, just bringing it to them to see who's interested. However, I'm not really privy on how this ad hoc really works and who joins this, so I didn't really push it because I was waiting to find out more about how, who, what, where, why, So if you guys can clear that up to let us know exactly like what an ad hoc is and how did that committee work and who would sit on that committee will be appreciative to me so that I can work that piece or help with that piece.
I don't want to misspeak or misinterpret, but to my understanding, with ad hoc committees, it isn't exclusive only to people on council. This could include residents, this can include business owners, and even people outside of the village that want to help contribute sponsorship or volunteers. The establishment of this committee is going to help, so that way we can pursue sponsorships, be able to get some additional monies for this purpose. And I think the sooner we get this, the better for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Question: how would that committee meet, and who would head that committee?
In terms
You
of,
say, how would they meet? Well, they can meet down here. Okay, so then what was your other question?
Like, who would head that so that they know, so that everybody's on the same page, everybody knows where we're gearing to? Because of course it's gonna have to be a meeting, but somebody's gonna have to take the initiative to call the meeting. It's gonna be, so who would, do we find somebody within the community to lead this initiative? Do one of us lead this initiative, or how does that look?
Well, you most definitely can volunteer to lead it if you like.
Miss Phyllis, that's why you on that law committee. I don't really want to lead it myself personally, but I want it to happen, and I want it to be something great. So if I have to, I will. I don't want to, but again, like I said, I want this 80th to be epic. So bringing the people in, even helping building the sponsorship package to put out to different places to get donations, all those things I'm privy to do, willing to do, but I really want to get our community involved. So giving a person a leadership position is big for me. I will help, but to give somebody else something, I'm already in a leadership position, right? To give somebody else that footing, to me, is even better. And now it gets more people involved in what it is that we're doing in our community.
I agree.
But it also would be nice if we would sit down, and just write what we would even like to see during that day. What does that day look like? I mean, does it look like kind of like your typical Lincoln Heights day, or? And I was reading in the past minutes that Mr. Daniels had suggested that we do like a week long.
So that was gonna be my question. Is it just for a day, or do we get to decide rather? Because I know that Lincoln Heights Day has always been Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And ushering that back in for me will be huge. And just each day something different. Whether we bring in, we're gonna be bringing Charles Foles, Jesus, but bringing people in on a day, having an event, a huge event each night, and then on Sunday, like we used to do, everybody come Sunday morning, have praise and worship, and thank God for the weekend not being no violence, and everybody, just getting back to not back because we always want to grow, but just resembling what our past used to be in 2026, if that makes sense. So I guess my question is, are we choosing to have it for a day, or do we do a weekend? Do we do a week long? Because 80 of us surviving is really a huge deal. And
that's incorporation. We're actually at 100 years existing though, right?
Right.
Yes. So I thought that we were going to have things throughout the year. And so my suggestion anyway is that we have something soon that will bring people out. And, it doesn't have to be we could talk about what kind of event if you're willing to do this. But I was thinking if we have something soon that just brought people, then at that time when they're together already in the spirit of the celebration, then maybe we could get people to sign up to be on that committee to do that. Yeah,
I have ideas.
I do too, rocking with the 80s.
One in particular that I think is timely and relevant because there's been a lot of discussions, but it hasn't been executed at this point in time. I'm not sure if you all recall, but in October we had a Unity in the Community Harvest block party where we're doing a community engagement for an art installation for Black Art Speaks. Miss Alandis Powell and the team of Black Art Speaks is donating artwork for the Village of Lincoln Heights to kind of resemble the Black Lives Matter mural outside of City Hall within the city of Cincinnati. And so there's been some discussions because we wanted to have it at a particular location. We were not able to get that location specifically due to legalities of ODOT controlling that part of the land. But we have identified a site that we think makes a lot of sense. And I think that could be an opportunity for us to kind of drum up more excitement for the 80th anniversary and get people really excited to be part of the ad hoc committee for this purpose.
And when is this?
currently in the works. I'm trying to make sure everything is situated. In terms
Okay,
of
so maybe that can be our second event, but I like what Councilwoman Trina Carter said as us celebrating some type of way, at least once a month for this year to say, or at least until the date of our actual birthday. You know, that's popular nowadays. People celebrate their birthday the whole month. But if like we can do something like maybe a block party to say rocking with the 80s and the 80s be the theme, right? Even though we're turning 80, but the 80s be the theme. Does that make sense?
okay.
So when would you like to see something like that happen? And let me ask this question right quick first. When did you say that they were going to do the revealing of the?
We're still currently working through the details associated
so
with
you
that
don't- you're not for sure.
in terms of the site.
Because that can be another event as well. The unveiling of the L, but also, like she said, just putting on an event because you're never gonna reach everybody at every event. Somebody's not gonna make it. So having multiple events and just letting people know that we've been here 80 years, y'all. Because it's a lot of the newer generation, the younger kids that are growing up 35, 30, like it's unfortunate, but they don't even have a time frame of how long this community has stood, right? And all of the ups and downs and the battles that we face. So 80 years means a lot. And I think that once you put it out there, people can embrace 80. You know what I mean? So I think that having these events, opening up people's minds and in the celebration mode, I already know I got people that's gonna help us, right? But it's I want different age groups, so to speak, to have their input on what each celebration looks like.
So for this particular one, the 80s, when would you suggest that we do this?
Well, it would really have to, what you call it, weather dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to do a block party, we would have to do it outside. But finding an event hall somewhere around here to put it on the party. I'm sure that there's an event hall around here that.
But you did say block party.
I did say block party, but the block party would have to be months in advance. But we want to start ushering people in. I mean, months later because of the weather. Now, if we know that tomorrow is going to be 70 or we got 70 a week, then we can plan for it. But yesterday it was 70 and it's 30 today. I could say.
What I'm
April
saying is
15th?
we could do it like May. We're gonna have to start doing it soon.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to be the one to set the day if you can't tell. I want you guys to tell me. I don't know. I'm willing to do the work whenever it's time to do it, but it was just an ideal from me. Now we can all talk about dates, times, and come together as one.
Yeah, it
How
would be
we gonna
nice
do
if we could kind of come up with a
a date.
yes.
What can we
Ms.
do in
Trina?
April? What can we actually plan to make it a big important thing? Can you hear me? To make it a big important thing. I'm thinking end of April. But is there something that we could put together that would be good that could still be done by the end of April? I can't think of it.
I don't think I don't know.
I will say that planning something to that scale that quickly is a bit ambitious.
To
It
what
is,
scale? Hold on.
but-
To what scale?
She's saying big event, and I'm like, what do you? I don't know for
Yeah,
sure.
what's big?
What
first?
does that entail?
To me, I think it would be successful to have. I think it would be successful to have 300 to 400 people. That would be successful to me for the first event.
Okay.
So what can we do that would draw 300 to 400 people, and they'd be excited about it, so that they'll want to come to the next thing? It's possible.
I'm not saying that it's not
May.
possible.
I mean April.
April.
Trying to pull something like that off this quickly without any prior planning, like any conference with any vendors or moderators, or you know what I'm saying, like just trying to think of like what that might look like within probably a month or a month or a little bit more. I think that'd be a little bit ambitious. However, I mean, I'm open. I'm open to having that. And later on in the agenda, we'll kind of be talking a little bit about what getting the word out looks like. And I think it's possible to kind of drum up some interest and excitement for that. But there are some steps that have to be taken first, for sure.
Yeah, so it's not that we couldn't make it happen. The biggest thing would be money.
That's it.
I mean, for real, because we could throw a
happen.
party.
If you give me a budget, buddy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we have a budget and you say, hey, this is your budget to work with, I guarantee you within them 30 days, the budget will be met, the celebration will be had, and we can get 300, 400 people. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be a huge deal. Like, we had a very good time with hamburgers and hot dogs. Right? People came out. Even though they came out in waves, we had a nice crowd all day, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just the word of mouth, getting it out, and not just on Facebook, not just on Twitter, but we do flyers, we do the robocall, we, of course, do Facebook and all the other things, but meeting people where they are, and that's our job, right? And from every angle. And I think, like Ms. Phyllis said, just give us the budget and we're going to rock it.
I think it is possible to kind of roll the unveiling of the L in with this, so that way it has some form of connectivity to the 80th. However, I'm just trying to think of what it's going to look like in terms of budgeting. So I don't want to like overpromise and underdeliver, but I definitely think that we can do some additional events. This I wouldn't say not this month, obviously, but like as we're moving towards the 80th anniversary celebration, we can certainly do some more to get people excited and get some more folks out to participate. But what that looks like, we can certainly work through that in terms of the finances associated with it.
Yeah, because time is really going fast.
Yes,
I mean,
it
September will be here before we know it.
Yes.
So I was thinking initially, popped in my head, a chili cook-off. And then I started thinking, because we're talking about our culture of our community, we could have a bake-off, which is going to bring people, because one, they get to eat something. Two, the people who are really competitive, and we know we have some people, them aunties that make those cakes and them uncles that know how to make a pie, they would be excited to show off what they have. And that would be something that it would take planning for us to get it right. But that celebrates our residents, because they have to be a resident to participate. It celebrates our food culture. And at the same time, it brings people out. That's just something off the top of my head. But and that would not cost us a huge amount of money, but we still get to have a real celebration. Just a thought.
So you're saying bake sale?
Well, a bake-off. I think it's important to have that competition part to it, but yeah, basically. So everybody gets a little taste of cake or pie or whatever and give their vote on which one is best.
Oh, you're saying, okay. You're saying that we compete against each other with our baked goods, and how would we collect money from that? Again, I missed something.
I didn't say that part. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that part, but we could have an entry fee, but to get a little bit of money. But the main point I was thinking of was getting people out to get them invested in what we're doing, to understand what we all want to happen for our 80th. So it's more about getting people there. But we can, and it would make sense actually to have an entry fee if they want to participate in some way. I just hadn't said that.
So you're saying an entry fee to raise money for our function, for the 80th celebration?
We can.
Or to keep it going for our block party, maybe raise money for that, or what?
We can. That wasn't my thoughts, but once you said that, that makes sense. I was just thinking a bake off so that we could get people out to sign up for the ad hoc committee or to give their input of what they would like to see. Because I'm thinking, for me as a resident in our council, I'm thinking like, oh, we could do like homecoming. And it was funny because as soon as you said Charles phone, we keep doing this. I was thinking, oh yeah, we could have a gospel concert on Wednesday night. Like I was really already at homecoming again. But yeah, so, and the Charles Fold singers are still around.
Yeah, they are.
So, but that would be later on if we had something all week. I just think that maybe a bake off or whatever we want to do would bring people out so that we can get their input.
I think it is important for us as the recreation committee to figure out monthly things to keep our residents engaged with us. Whether it's I don't know, I was about to say donuts and daddies. I don't know. But just having a monthly event that's coming from the recreation committee to have to involve the residents. I just said that, everybody looking at me like donuts and daddies, like where'd you get that from? I don't know. But just maybe it's not monthly, maybe it's every other month, but something that connects the residents and the council. And if it's just coming from the recreation committee, we're all on council, so they see us. They see that we are involved in everyday life or whatever. We know that they're out there. It matters to us. So, hey, let's get together. Maybe we have, even if we don't have an actual bowling alley, maybe Lincoln Heights Bowls on Saturdays at Friendship Bowl. I don't know. I made all this up. But just creating events. People all around us do events monthly for their community base, right? And that's just to keep everybody connected, keep everybody knowing that we are one, right? So just a suggestion for us as recreation, starting a new journey.
We do have, and nobody has been appointed to it, Respect My Block, which is done once a month. So we could even we can use that to, to engage the people to come out. And like you said, we can have some light and refreshments or something that maybe we ourselves can donate, just to bring them out, so that we can get more ideas from the people and what they want to see.
Yep.
So, how do we go about, because I've never done Respect My Block, but I do know that it's, I believe it's Tuesday, like the second Tuesday of the month or something.
Miss Momia.
Let me see.
When did y'all do Respect My Block, huh?
It was the first Tuesday
The first Tuesday of the
in the
month?
month, yes.
Okay, thank you.
What time? I'm sorry, Miss.
It could start at 6 o'clock. So we can plan on doing that on, well, we didn't think about it earlier, but like what's the first Tuesday in April?
What's the okay, that's it. The first Tuesday is not. That's the first Tuesday in April.
Is what time, what date is it?
You said what?
Oh, the 7th.
What's wrong with my clock?
So
Yes, it's
so
the
we can plan
second.
on April the 7th.
It's the
doing-
second. It's the second.
The second?
She got happy about her birthday.
Which day is it? I'm sorry.
April the 2nd.
Yes.
It's the first Tuesday in April. It's the 2nd. At 6 o'clock. And at
Madam
least,
Chair,
yes,
who would be chairing that so I can put that on the flyer?
who's going to share
Wait a minute, hold
respect
on.
my
Let me look
block?
at my- Phyllis got me all on
Um,
the touch.
we can kind of, I don't know who going to actually chair it, but we can kind of do it together
Miss Phyllis, she was right.
the first
Everybody has to-
Tuesday to start, because we don't have a chair for that. But we do want to come together and invite the community out. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if I will be here, but I want to point out that that is spring break. So I don't know if there's something that might, like maybe the topic might have something to include the kids some kind of way. Since that's spring break and if anybody's coming, I don't know, they might want to leave their kids somewhere, come to the meeting, or they might want to bring their kids with them, but it is spring break.
On the 7th?
The second,
It's not the 2nd, it's the 7th.
Oh, come on now, y'all. What's
She
the
was
day?
looking at Thursday. It is the 2nd, ma'am. It's the 7th? What is wrong with this?
so the first is on the Wednesday.
I don't have my phone with me, so I
Me
don't know.
neither.
So for the record, April 1st,
The first Tuesday
the
in
first
April.
Tuesday in
Oh,
April.
y'all saying the
Okay.
first Tuesday? I keep thinking y'all saying the 2nd.
Looking ahead.
It is the 7th. Okay. So it starts at 6 o'clock. Or do we want to say 6:30? Okay, 6:30. Sorry. Okay, and then we got to remember to announce this at our next council meeting.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
do you know what's going to be on the agenda for?
We're going to talk about the
Respect my block.
the OCHOC committee.
Ad hoc
Ad
committee?
hoc, yeah. Ad hoc. And we're going to have light refreshments that we're going to prepare and bring.
I said that I'm gonna buy at Sam's.
Well, I hope you can make it.
I can on the 7th. I can be here for that.
Okay. Placing signs.
Do you want me to act as chair for that day? I can do that since it's on the 7th. I can be that would be an ad hoc chair, right? I could do that for the 7th just to run the meeting. If you want me to, I will do that.
I don't care.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Before Mr. Brown comes back, I want to ask you, but then I want to ask him too. So I have really, really been thinking about having a town hall pancake breakfast, brunch, whatever. Is that something that I have no idea how to do it, but I know the Kiwanis Club does it, and they know how to figure out how many pancakes to make and all of that. And I know that there has been one at the health center before. Is that something that we might want to do? Because people will come if there's food. So is that a possibility? And Mr. Brown, I was saying about having a town hall pancake brunch. Is that a possibility? Because I don't know.
But okay, so in the past, when we did it, like you said, it was at the health center. So where would we do it? Because I don't think we had one since the health center was up on Adams.
I know somebody had one down here. I can't remember who it was. I
mean
was there,
at-
but I don't
at
remember.
this,
at this health center down here. I don't remember what organization had it.
I
but
remember
actually
Lou.
went.
You remember Lou, the one that got the Habitat House over on Beale Street? I remember he was over there helping fix pancakes. So I could reach out to him to ask him, how did they go about it and what organization he was with when they did it.
Would that be something that we are, well, you said there has been one. Would that be something we're allowed to do so that we can get residents to come in to, again, be engaged, ask questions, give us input? Is that something we could do? More focused on the town hall meeting part, but with the brunch.
My apologies. I had to step out of the room to grab my charger. My battery died on my laptop. What was the purpose of the town hall?
To get people involved with the committees and with all the planning and everything, but more to just get them to come and give us input or ask questions. I have not thought specifically about the 80th when I thought about having a town hall meeting, but to have a town hall meeting to talk about that.
Okay. Is this something that exists or that happens outside of Respect My Block? I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding.
She was just offering another suggestion of things that we can do to bring the community together.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, let's definitely workshop that. I just want to make sure that, we're being mindful of, certainly want to have interest, community engagement. However, if we are talking about, several events within like a 2 to 3 month period, that does, depending on what it looks like, right? I just want to make sure that we're able to have the capacity to facilitate it. That's my main consideration. Not that I don't have interest in doing that. I just want to make sure that we have what we need in order to pull something like that off.
I have a
I
question.
understand.
With the ad hoc committee and it being basically all of us, doesn't that allow for the residents to fundraise and send out maybe like sponsorship packages to different organizations to get funds in to help with community engagement?
In terms of the screening for receiving money, I know as a government entity, we have to be very careful.
No, not us receiving it. That's not my question. My question is, can the residents for the 80th and building up to whatever event they want to put on, whatever monies they feel like they need for their floats or whatever, are they able to do that, I guess, connected to the 80th? So, for instance, say we have a group of young people that know that they can go to United Way and get funding for whatever they want to do. Or they know that if they send out a sponsorship packet to GE to get whatever funding that they need, or however, I don't know, it might be just their mama down the street. Can they themselves do that as a community base, even though it's connected to our 80th as a whole? Does that make sense? Disconnecting us from this recreation committee from anything that they do. Is that you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but it seems like even with all that, there's still that connective tissue between it being the 80th anniversary celebration and whatever individual or organization, business that decides to go and acquire or secure any additional funding for that purpose. Let me think on that, because I want to make sure that we're taking care of business as it pertains to securing funding. However, I need to make sure that we're able to do so in such a way that doesn't pose any like ethical considerations or anything. I just want to make sure we're doing it like cleanly.
That was why I asked, so that we could get a clear understanding.
Yeah.
So in the past, we do have, it is some, maybe Miss Lisa can get it for us. It is some letters that we can send out to different organizations, but then the money has to come back through to the village and then be designated for this particular function.
Yeah, I've seen some documentation in my research of the 75th, and I've seen similar materials for that purpose. But as it pertains to like how it looks and how it should work, that's still something I'm currently working through.
Okay.
One more quick question, Madam Chair. Are we, this committee, in charge of the parade? Are we going to be in charge of that? And the reason I'm asking is because then we probably need to look at, might as well say April for real. We have to look at sending out correspondences pretty soon, before school gets out, before college gets out. Are we going to take on that responsibility, or is it somebody else's?
Now, Miss Lisa has normally, I think like the last 2-3 years, been doing the parade. Has it been that long?
Since 2019.
It's been that long.
And it was something that the mayor would do. That was under her umbrella, the former mayor, Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
So she can, if she would, you could still help us with the parade, possibly. I mean, since
So
you
does it
already
have to
know
be
the
the
ins
mayor's-
and outs and how it's laid out and all. Would that be possible? We would have to ask the
So,
mayor.
yes, because I don't know if the mayor is going to continue that.
But that's
Or
what,
if
that
it's
was
gonna
my
be
question.
something
Is it the mayor's duty?
I don't
Or
know
is
if
it
it's
under
the
recreation?
duty,
No,
but it's been doing
it's
that
the mayor's duty to
since 2019.
what Miss Lisa do.
What?
You know, if we want Miss Lisa to do something to help us out with the parade or whatever, we have to go through the mayor to get permission
Why?
because she's her. She's
You say clerk of council.
I know, but she's really a clerk for the mayor, but she helps council.
Okay.
We can clarify that, but oh, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting this microphone.
I think we should, I'm sorry, Ms. Trent, I think we should look into the roles and who really should be. Just because it was been done like that since 2019 does not mean that that's how it has to happen or even that it was supposed to be like that.
So we are going to do a parade for the 80th. That's what I want to know. I mean, the
I
community
say
really
100%
loves
yes.
the
Yes.
parades.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to make sure, because I do know that when I chaired the parade and then when Ms. Nutter chaired the parade, we reached out to people. And there were some people who were in the parade, had been in it for a long time. And the last few years, they were not in it because they were like, well, we were waiting to find out when stuff was going on. So I think it's really important that we send correspondence out rather than hoping that they think about us.
Okay, that sounds good. We can even invite the recreation commission to help us do it. Yeah. That we might even, if they agree, we might already have a really nice committee going on.
And I do know that the reason that Mayor Mumphrey took it over was because there was a lack of interest in running the parade at one point.
I really wanted to learn how to do it. I really did. But
We have
what do I
paperwork.
want to ask? Miss Lisa, is it possible for you to give me a list of the recreation committee people? I mean, yeah, commission.
Commission?
Yeah, the commission.
Yes.
So that way I can reach out to them and see if they might be interested in coming to our meeting in April.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, anything else? Y'all want to say anything else about that? So someone placed on here that we want to place signs in the community to make people aware of our 80th, who, I'm not for sure who placed this on here, but did y'all have a ideal of what you might want to have on the signs, or how does that look?
Madam Chair, if I may, I wasn't involved in placing that on the agenda for this evening, but a few items down, you will see that we are interested in entering into an agreement with a digital marketing consultant, and they will be responsible for drafting any content that we have, so that way we can move forward with communicating with the public, the residents of Lincoln Heights and those that are in the surrounding Cincinnati metro area, even those that desire to come back home for this purpose. That is certainly something we're interested in, but that consultant will be in charge of the creation of that signage.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I didn't bring my. Okay, so now we're talking about what you were talking about, the people.
Yeah. And Madam Chair, the reason why this was presented, the draft legislation was presented within this committee meeting is because there's a couple of considerations as we're looking towards preparation for the 80th anniversary. And I believe it was December of 2025, I published a couple of requests for proposals or RFPs for vendors, specifically for legal services and for digital marketing services. The draft legislation is asking for council to allow me to move forward with executing an agreement with Bricker, Graydon, Wyatt for legal services. They submitted a proposal, and we thought that it was pretty compelling, as they've done this work for several municipalities in neighboring communities, and they also offer a rate that is fairly competitive within the market. This is also going to help us with various different considerations, especially as we look towards grant applications, as we look towards receiving certain monies and donations for the 80th. And I'll try to keep it there, but I wanted to give the Recreation Committee time to review that. I'm also going to share this with the whole of council, so that they'll have time to review in advance of the upcoming council meeting. And next is the draft legislation for me to enter into agreement with the Voice of Your Customer for digital marketing services. Again, I submitted an RFP back in December for this purpose. We've been without a digital marketing consultant since June of 2025. I've had some experience in digital marketing consulting, maybe not to the scale of a local government, but as a freelancer, doing some work as a digital marketing consultant for the past 10 years. And I recognize the importance of having that, especially as we're moving towards our 80th anniversary. They had a very compelling proposal and a rate that I believe was very competitive, so that way we can make the best and highest use of government funds. And that is the reason why these two items were placed specifically on this agenda, so that way you all can have time to review, ask any questions. And as I mentioned, this is going to be shared with the whole of council, so that way at our March 31st, that Monday, we'll be able to, move forward with a vote for these purposes.
So as far as this legal service is concerned, did you look out to any other legal people?
I have. Yeah, so I've reached out to our neighbors for any references, our neighbors being with Lachlan and with Woodlawn. I've reached out to them. They submitted some referrals, and I shared that through the Center for Local Government, and it was posted on our website, posted on LinkedIn, posted on Facebook. And this is the proposal that we felt was best suited for Lincoln Heights.
So this would be our new solicitor?
If council votes to
I'm
approve,
saying if
yes.
we vote to approve.
Did you see this?
Well, this will be something that'll be submitted to the whole of council.
So we can't find people that look like us to do this type of work? It's just a question.
That is that's a great question. I think I don't want to like assume people's hesitance to submit proposals for Lincoln Heights, but there remains some work that we have to do within administration and with council to kind of invite the confidence of external partners again. And so I say it that way because there has been a lot that's been happening within the village.
Like what?
Well, there's been a lot of attrition. There's been a lot of turnover within this role specifically, and with that type of turnover, people aren't as excited to submit proposals. I just wanted to kind of like, I would say, ease your concern about the people that submitted the proposal, because the market was rather slim. I think because of how things have been previously, and just trying to make sure that we are in a way where we are able to improve our working reputation, so that way we can invite more quality service to the village of Lincoln Heights.
Well, okay, I'm gonna leave that off the record. Okay. Because the solicitor was probably the problem with all the things that were going on, because we didn't have a good legal backing. So, however, you made, okay.
And I did look up reviews. I looked up reviews because I was concerned, I don't know. So I did look up reviews. They have a lot of excellent reviews.
Yeah.
So at least there's
From
that,
who?
and we're
From
not
where?
getting.
Like when you do your research, like the review.
Well,
it's okay. We're gonna
I get it.
we're
I
gonna look
understand.
over this, and we're gonna talk about it, and everything's gonna be great.
It's a draft. Just wanted to make sure to kind of bring that back to the front, because while this isn't something that's going to be voted on to approve today, I wanted to at least make sure we had space and time if you had any questions associated with that.
So I do have a question about voice of your customer.
Mm-hmm.
The fixed monthly fee.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have more specifics on like how often they're going to post, how they're going to, and so everybody knows what I'm talking about. The voice of your customer proposes a fixed monthly fee of $4,500 to provide digital marketing and communications services, which I see there's a lot of other stuff. But as far as the socials and as far as the things that are sent out to the residents, do you have we're going to have a minimum of this many posts across social media, or specifically we're going to make sure that we post certain things? Do you have that? I'm just wondering.
In terms of the quantity of posts per week, I do not have a definitive number for that, but they are open to sharing any information that is important for us to share in a very timely fashion. And some of that will include short form video. Some of that will include, a still graphic image. Some of it will just be text. And so there isn't a definitive number, but we are going to have content strategy meetings, so that way we're able to effectively communicate on our social media channels, leveraging our social media channels, doing a newsletter. We haven't had a newsletter in quite a while. I'm not entirely sure if that'll be something that will have like a print companion, but there are certainly opportunities and pathways to pursuing greater communications with this vendor.
So this is also a draft. Like you have some flexibility in it, or is this
in terms
what
of
she's saying? This is the cost.
That is the cost with the scope of services included. I will say that there were some that were much more than that. And so considering their previous experience working for municipal government, this was something I thought was very nice, considering the price point that is also included. So the familiarity with local government, and then also the ability to communicate while also getting a, I'm sorry, while also getting a rate that is very competitive within the market. I think that's something that really helped us move forward with this one specifically.
Do you know how much we paid the last person that did this type of service for us?
Yeah, so I believe the previous contractor, let me pull this up because it was just sent to me a little while ago. I want to say that this was the Room of Knowledge presented contract agreement, and their rate was $3,000.
That's what I,
But bear in mind, this contract was created and executed in 2022. So the rates have increased for digital marketing services for certain, but the proposal that is before you for draft legislation to consider adoption is like, I can't recall like the specific number, but I'm quite certain that this is the most cost-effective vendor that submitted a proposal.
I got a question. So the last vendor that we used, why did we change?
They terminated our contract, and it's somewhat uncommon for a vendor to terminate a contract,
Right.
but they terminated the contract, I think, in June of 2025.
I was just wondering.
And then I for my 2 cents, I don't feel like they were effective.
That's what she was.
That's what you were saying? At least I do know this company, and they are very visible on social media. And then I also see this company's name on other things off of social media. So at least we'll know that things will get out and we will be visible. I think that's a good thing. The company before, do we even have any products from them? Like, do we have a logo? Do we have something that they created for us that we can continue to use? Because I don't know. I'm asking.
So that is a great question. The fact that Room of Knowledge and their team terminated our contract with them, I want to acknowledge that is uncommon in the sense that they could have just sat and collected money without us give them anything to do. And the reason why the perception is that our communications were ineffective was because during that time there was a lot of attrition. There was a lot of turnover within the village manager role. I think the news report said that it was 8 managers in 6 years, which is a lot. And because I'm not entirely sure if there's been someone that has been interested in kind of like looking under the hood to kind of like see what the contracts have looked like in the past. What value are we getting out of these contracts? And for us to move forward with a vendor that is highly visible, very communicative, very engaged within the community already, I think that is something that is going to be really beneficial for us, especially as we look towards all matters of importance, not just the 80th, not just a land use plan, but the entire enterprise of our government, and making certain that the residents are aware of all pertinent information, so that way they can make the decisions that make the most sense to them.
Can we give her, keep saying her because I'm looking at the project manager as Crystal Kendrick, but can we give them specific things that we do want, since we would have them on the team? Let me go back to it where I saw her name, but I saw that we would also have a digital marketing person. Like, can we tell them we would like a new logo, for example, or that we want to have a certain thing for our marketing, can we do that as part of this, or will we have to pay extra for that?
I don't think that a logo would be considered within the scope of service. Not that they're not able to do that. I'm currently trying to pin down details associated with like brand book with another consultant to give us new business cards, new email signatures. I'm trying to think of what else. A brand book to kind of like give us guidelines on what our media should look like, and give some templates on what that should look like as well. But in terms of creating a new logo, I think that has definitely been something that I've tossed around the idea with, but also want to bear in mind that this logo was created, I think in 2011, I can't remember what year, but like the 20 teens. And the logo that we have also exists right off of 75. So having logo refresh for this, literally everything, might take some additional funding associated with that. But if we are looking towards like templated content for graphics or for reels or what have you, or email signatures, business cards, that'll be something that they'll be able to facilitate.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we already have this nice logo. We don't need to spend, unnecessary money.
True. That's why I was wondering if it was part of the contract, because now that I actually read it again, under the visual artist role, it does say responsible for creating brand consistent graphics, which is really the more important thing, not the logo in itself, but that he would create brand consistent graphics, digital flyers, short form videos, reels, and visual content that enhances engagement. So we won't have somebody coming up with something that looks nothing like Lincoln Heights. It will be consistent across. So as soon as people see it, they're like, "Oh, Lincoln Heights, what's going on over there?"
I also want to share that as we were finalizing a decision for this purpose, I met with the 5 vendors that scored the highest. And each of the times I met with them, each meeting I had, I asked, do you all have contractors in the Cincinnati metro area that can do short form videos, do still images, maybe even drone footage? Because this 80th anniversary is going to be a major consideration, and we're going to want to collect all that content. And they are very much present within Lincoln Heights already. And so that was another value added within the proposal.
So what grant opportunities do we have for recreation?
Manager, that's a great question. I have submitted grant applications to Hamilton County's Community Event Grant for the 80th to the tune of $25,000. I haven't heard where we are in that status. I haven't heard where we are in terms of what review has looked like thus far, but we're confident that we will be able to receive that funding. I am still currently looking through other grant opportunities for recreation, but I do know and we're going to have some additional community events for recreation, but that is something that I'm still doing research on.
Okay. So we don't have any electric on our poles out throughout the community. Electric, we don't have no plugs.
Okay.
So I was hoping to ask early now, if we can get some Christmas decorations, preferably the white ones or whatever color you want. But we need something that's, what is it called?
Solar.
Solar, yeah. We need solar lights. so that we can put them on the polls. So could you please look into that?
Absolutely,
So we
yeah.
don't wait till the last minute.
Right. I'm glad that we're having this conversation now. I'm not entirely sure what the cost of that would be, but we can definitely look into that for certain.
Okay.
Yep, I have it written down.
So do we have any public comments? Any public? You want to speak? Miscellaneous? You do. Okay. Well, you didn't say, okay, get on up here.
I was having a question in regards to the legislation, draft legislation regarding the agreement with the Brecker, Graydon, Watt for legal services. I was wondering if the Village of Lincoln Heights has been, if Brecker, Graydon, and Watts has represented anyone in regards to suing the Village of Lincoln Heights.
If they've represented anyone that has sued the Village of Lincoln Heights.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's listed within their conflict of interest statement, because that would be a very clear conflict of interest,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull this up right quick. Just one moment. Okay. Conflict of interest statement. They represent numerous public entities across Ohio. While these engagements involve municipalities and political subdivisions, none presents a direct conflict of interest serving as solicitor for the Village of Lincoln Heights. We have reviewed our client list and confirmed that no existing relationships would impair our ability to provide an impartial and effective legal counsel to the village. Should any potential conflicts arise during the engagement, we will promptly disclose them and implement appropriate safeguards to ensure compliance with ethical standards.
Okay, that's part of the contract?
That is part of their proposal.
Proposal.
If there was a conflict of interest, like say they were suing the village for whatever purpose, that will be included within the proposal, but no such conflicts exist.
They're saying that they have no conflict.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to find out.
Miscellaneous, any miscellaneous business?
Yes, and it'll be quick, I promise. I had actually thought that maybe we need to, I think that we should probably tell what the function of each committee is, just so everybody knows what the function of each of our committees are, and so that that's enough of that. But because of that, I was actually thinking maybe we should rebrand recreation to recreation and enrichment, because some things that I think you've been trying to cover and you have covered over the last few years are not necessarily recreation, but it is definitely enrichment for the community, for individuals as well as us collectively. So I didn't want any kind of vote on that or anything today, but that was something I was just thinking instead of just saying recreation, because a lot of times you say recreation, people think playing, right? They think about playing, or that's what I think about. I think about playing. So if you add the enrichment part, then we can do things that make sense that are not just playing. I had an example, and right now I can't think of it. But like I guess one example is We Thrive a part of what we're doing, or is that totally separate?
It in a way of speaking, it is separate, but what they do is they enrich or enhance our community in the things that we do. Like when we did do that Juneteenth function that I was referring to, they were looking for us to put on a function somewhere that we never did it before. And they did it for the purpose of having people to come out to say what they want and what they would like to see in their community. I mean, it was right there on Douglas, in between Adams and Jackson. And it was really a nice turnout.
So that would be a good example if we decided to have an annual Juneteenth celebration. That's not exactly recreation if you have an educational part or an artistic part to it. Artisans, bringing their things. So that's not exactly recreation, but I think that's something that we would do, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I was thinking about. I think it was me. I apologize. But that's why I was thinking instead of just calling it recreation that we would maybe rebrand it a little bit. I am so sorry. I think I just got too close or something. Because she wasn't touching anything either. I think it was me.
I mean, it was a lot of recreation. The only thing that was really Juneteenth was probably the colors or the flag. We had a Juneteenth flag, but I mean, we ate food. The center, Mike Pearl, he donated the money for the food that we cooked, and I think the We Thrive had given us money as well, and we gave away plants and stuff for the community. It was really nice, and we had entertainment. I mean, it was really nice. So I don't know how Miss Karen missed it when she was right there on Jackson. But they did do. But we really do want to get the the survey that they did, Mr. Brown. We really do want to get that from We Thrive because, like I said, they asked the community what they wanted, and they did do that. So we might as well use that information, if we could.
I think that recreation is really just something to do, things happening, right? Not really play, but things happening in the community is why they call it recreation. I asked a question too, and it was because it's not us putting on events like parties all the time. Is things happening, just making sure that the community is staying engaged, which would be the recreation part, things happening.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
We don't have to change everything, but announcements. Do anybody got any announcements?
Actually, yes, I have an announcement. I'm going to be getting married this week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be taking some time, so probably either start. Me not feeling well right before I'm about to get married is not good, but currently I'm going to be out, I think, from Wednesday until Wednesday.
Okay.
So from the 18th to the 23rd, Mr. John Key will be serving as an administrator within my absence. So the signing of checks will be deferred to our vice mayor in my absence. And yes, he'll be holding it down while I'm gone. And immediately upon return is permanent appropriation. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. I'm trying my best to close some loops this week, but I wanted to share that with you all as well.
Congratulations.
Yes. Okay. So that's this Saturday you're getting married?
This Friday.
This Friday, yay.
Is the hand gonna be going up
What you mean?
on the clock? Is the hand?
What time will you be getting married? Will it be
it'll
something
be going
30?
down. It'll be 6:30.
Okay.
6:30, going up.
Going up.
Going up, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're going up. That's what we need. You going up, buddy. We need you going
Yeah,
up.
congratulations on that. So, by the grace of God, you'll have that, you could possibly have that after you come back. I mean, maybe talk with We Thrive tomorrow or something, and then maybe they'll have it by the time you get back,
Yeah, sure.
please.
Yeah.
I know you're busy and you got a lot of things going on, but
We'll make that a priority.
we appreciate it. Okay, my favorite time of the night.
Mo-
Go ahead.
Motion for adjournment.
A second. It is me. It's definitely my mic.